This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Attention all property managers, condo associations, and homeowners. Get ready for the event of the year, South Florida's biggest and best condo and HOA Expo. And guess who will be there? Cutter's Edge Total Landscape Solutions, bringing their expertise right to you. Visit our arbor display booth and don't miss the chance to witness our skilled team demonstrating proper tree trimming techniques using our state-of-the-art electric saws. Wow. We know the importance of maintaining healthy and beautiful trees, and our experts will be able to answer all your questions and provide valuable tips. So mark your calendars for December 7th from 10 to 4 at the Broward County Convention Center in Fort Lauderdale. Come meet the Cutter's Edge team and discover how we can elevate your property's curb appeal. Come look for Cutter's Edge Total Landscape Solutions at South Florida's biggest and best condo and HOA Expo, December 7th. More info at cuttersedgepro.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. EJDconstruction.com is fully insured, liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shope. Here's your host, the Big O.
Gotta tell you, baby, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to watch your Miami Dolphins take care of business. You know you gotta spank these fools and send them home. That's what you've got to do with something like the Washington Commanders. Whatever that thing is that they put there out there on the field, they got a couple players. I mean, you know, it's not like they don't have some there. They got some there, but they're not supposed to hang with Miami. And today, that's exactly what happened. They didn't mess around. They didn't fall behind by 14 points like they've done in the past with, you know, the Carolina Panthers or a bunch of turnovers and keep the Giants' hopes alive and those kind of things. They took care of the scrubs like they're supposed to take care of the scrubs. And you got to be happy with that. A 45-15 absolute ass thrashing of the Washington Commanders is just what the doctor ordered. And we are in the chamber of winning right now. That's where we are. We're in the chamber of winning. It's the 9th win of the season. This isn't the team from last year. Oh, my God, they were 8-3 last year. Yeah, moron. They didn't lose their quarterback. They don't have their entire secondary injured. They've got a Hall of Fame-like defensive coordinator. They picked up Jalen Ramsey along with X. That's going to be a duel that's amazing. Tyreek is doing shit that we've never seen before. Andrew Van Ginkle is a werewolf. This is not the same team. They have depth. They have offensive linemen that replace offensive linemen. They have linebackers that replace linebackers. They have safeties that replace safeties. They have people actually ready to step in, running backs who replace running backs. Do you understand? Get off of the old thinking. This is the best front office, head coach, quarterback, talent that you've had in over 40 years. Trust me, as a guy that has seen it all when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, as I was a kid for the 70s all the way through. Okay, I've seen every era of Dolphins football. This is the best team that the Dolphin fan base has had top to bottom. And not because you thrashed the Commanders. The Commanders ain't shit, man. You did what you were supposed to do. 45-15, get the hell out of our face, and it's over. But the bottom line is you've taken care of business. And if you haven't seen what's been developing, yeah, they got throttled by Buffalo, and I'm still pissed from that one. But even from that moment on, they've played better in those kind of games. They have to start winning those games. I know. But they consistently have taken care of the shitty teams. The teams that they're supposed to beat, they beat. That's not normal for the Dolphins. They should have already been tripped up at least, 1-2 times at least? Normal Dolphin teams, normal Dolphin coaching staffs, at least 1 or 2 times, right? Everything. Oh, my God, Teron Armstead goes down. Oh, here's Kendall Lamb saving your ass. Okay. Oh, my God, there goes Jalen Phillips. Here's Andrew Van Ginkle, the first part of the season, saving your ass. Oh, my God, here goes Jalen Phillips again. Here's Andrew Van Ginkle, once again, saving your ass. By the way, Emmanuel Agba, AVG put on a show, man. I love AVG. Those of you that follow the show for the last few years, you know that I've been a monster AVG supporter, believer. I've called him a ball. I had to fight with Omar here on it. And Omar whatever. I don't see it. He's probably on the bandwagon, obviously, by now. But it's one of those where AVG is got something you can't teach, instincts. That's the stuff that already comes with the talent. I remember the Dolphins had a guy by the name of Aubrey Beavers. And if Andrew Van Ginkle had Aubrey Beavers' body and athleticism, Andrew Van Ginkle might become the greatest linebacker in the history of the Miami Dolphins. And that's saying a lot when you've got Bonacani and Zach and, you've got Offerdahl and, stuff like that. You got guys like that. You give me Andrew Van Ginkle's mind and his instincts, and you give me that guy's body and athleticism, that's fine. See, Aubrey Beavers couldn't play because he doesn't have Andrew Van Ginkle's instincts, so that's why he wasn't as good. Derek Rogers, built like an Adonis, not half the player that Andrew Van Ginkle is. Not half the instincts of Andrew Van Ginkle. It's the stuff you cannot teach. And it's the difference between you being in love with the athleticism. Tua. You're in love with the athleticism of Herbert. Just won 6-0, by the way. Sizzling offense. 6 points. Anyway, you're in love with the athleticism of the player, but is he a football player? Does he have the instincts? Does Zach Thomas does not have the? Ask him. He'll tell you. Dude, are you as talented as Junior Seau, Derek Brooks? No. And he got by why? Instincts, intelligence. Can't teach that shit, dude. Can't teach that shit. Some of you are too young, but Steve Largent was the guy that wasn't going to be gifted like Paul Warfield or Randy Moss or what's it called? The AJ Brown guy from Philly. Those people are freaks, but he's a Hall of Famer because his intelligence was at another level. And we've had those kind of guys throughout, and that's what makes them a little different at times. So Andrew Van Ginkle may not be the most athletic and most freakish looking linebacker out there, but he makes up for it with this, dude. That interception for a touchdown, that's the stuff you cannot teach. There's no teaching that whatsoever. You either have it or you don't, and he's been that way the whole time. He's always around interceptions, fumbles, whatever it is. He's getting sacks. The guy, he almost blocked a punt today. My God, Andrew Van Ginkle was just sick today. It was awesome to watch him today. He forced a fumble, by the way. Also, right? It was like a where was it? I wrote it down here. Where was it? And by the way, the Jerome Baker stuff was, what a shame, dude. What an absolute shame. Oh, by the way, it was Duke Riley that did that. Duke Riley's the one that came back and forced the drop, filling in for Baker. That's the guy. It wasn't AVG on that one. Let me give Duke Riley, by the way, made a couple plays also coming in. Kudos to him. I can't say I trust Duke yet as an every down linebacker. I love Duke on the team as a part-time guy and those kind of things. But you know, it's crazy, dude. I mean, that this performance was pretty freaking awesome for the Dolphins. I was really, really happy with the performance. Let me see what we got here. I think we could get Safadine already. Okay. All right. I think we're going to get Safadine here. I'm going to get to your super chats. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. You can ask questions there too, because, we love the super chats and we appreciate you. Thank you. But they take 30% YouTube. Cash App or Venmo, we get 100%. Cash Big O Show, that's Cash Big O Show. Send your questions, comments there. You can make a Bitcoin donation, of course, which that nothing makes me happier than Bitcoin donations. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Let's do it. Safadine is ready to go with our BaptistHealth.net/ortho. And when we talk about Baptist Health, the staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, it's comprised of highly specialized, board-certified and fellowship-trained orthopedic physicians supported by advanced practice providers and athletic trainers, all of whom play a vital role in the patient's experience. And remember, Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has locations from Monroe to Palm Beach counties, including one now at Hard Rock Stadium, also open to the public. We now unleash Safadine.
Let's get the latest from the Aqua and Orange with our Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with USA Today insider Safadine. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net. Here's Safadine.
All right. Somebody was I'm sure you got it too. Silly comparisons. Well, they were 8-3 last year. Yeah, they have their secondary. They got their quarterback. They got a Hall of Fame like defensive coordinator. They got a defense that's getting in a groove now. Yeah, different 8-3 team, and kudos.
Different schedule.
Okay, but they've taken care of business. This team normally gets tripped up by these teams already once or twice along the way. It would have happened already. And it's a good thing it hasn't, right? This is the reason why the Dolphins are doing so well. This is Mike McDaniel's leadership. This is all the moves that you mentioned. This is Vic Fangio's defense really coming along, in the second half of the season. This is Tyreek Hill being the best player in the NFL like he has been. This is Tua not turning the ball over.
This is Devin A. Chain coming back. This is Andrew Van Ginkle going Van Ginkle out there, even without Jalen Phillips. This was a good game by the Dolphins. It just sucks that these last 2 games have come at a loss because Jalen Phillips is done for the season, and now Jerome Baker looks like he might be very well injured for an extended period of time. And that's probably the only negative, and it's a major negative for the Dolphins after this one.
Yeah. Because I don't know how you replace him now. And I know everybody's throwing Butler's name out there, right? From the Colts, right? Is the guy that's out there? Is it Butler, right?
No, you're talking about Leonard, Darius Leonard.
And I don't even know if he fits. I don't even know if he fits what they want to do here, actually.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more of an outside linebacker, which could be taking Van Ginkle out of that spot, maybe, and having Riley or Long be the middle guy. I'm not sure how that goes. Darius Leonard, they have a tie-in. I believe his agent's the same one that the Dolphins have worked with for a really long time, Malkikawa. So should be Jonathan Taylor's agent. So should be something there where they can talk. But I know I guess there were some rumors about the Cowboys, and there was actually a moment where he was at the Colts game last week in a suite watching the game, which is very awkward. But we're getting off topic here. The Dolphins need to go get a linebacker, though, is pretty much the point that you and I are driving home here. They need to fill that role, fill that depth. And Duke Riley had a good couple plays this game. There was a couple good plays I liked. He's rangy, not as big as Baker is, but definitely has the range and the heart to play. And, one of the nicest guys in the locker room, Duke Riley, and also Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker is one of my favorite guys. Been here since 2018, since I covered the team. Always willing to show you a smile and talk to you when you're in the locker room. He is one of the great personalities on the Dolphins team, and really hope everything comes out for him okay.
Yeah, and today, again, depth comes through. I mean, it's happened throughout on the offensive line. It's happened with running backs. Today, it happened with the pass rusher. You lose Jalen Phillips, but dude, you didn't really miss a beat because Andrew Van Ginkle almost blocked a punt. He had an interception for a touchdown. He had sack. Ogba got a sack. So it's almost like Chubb didn't do what you were thinking that he probably would do. That's other guys chipped in too. Sealer also.
Chubb got a sack in this one too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did pick up one actually.
Chubb got a sack too. You gotta look at you can. I'm with you. I'm gonna praise the Dolphins for doing what they did and beating their opponent and beating the man in front of you. That's what you're supposed to do. The Texans just got a late touchdown to beat, or excuse me, a late pick. I'm watching here and being distracted, but you can praise the Dolphins for doing what they had to do. They took care of business. Good job. This was another week to get some work in. Offense found its life again. Tua was not about that BS today, and the Commanders give up the most receiving yards to teams in the NFL. So it was going to be a big day for Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Waddle had a drop or two in this game, but that's fine when Tyreek Hill is, catching 60 and 70-yard touchdowns. 2-yard passes going for 70, 80-yard touchdowns. Excuse me. I didn't want to, mess up there. Tua is throwing 2-yard passes for touchdowns. Remember that?
Wait a minute. Did a Dolphin game really happen if there wasn't a Waddle drop?
That's very true. That is very true. This drop was pretty crazy too, because it felt like Waddle was just ready to turn and go run upfield for that one big drop. I mean, you got to give it to the kid. He's one of my favorite players. I probably need to be a little harder on him than I should. And Waddle,
you got to give it to the kid because he comes up with a new way to drop it every week. Not only does he drop it, but it's in a new way
this week
fashion that he drops it and it slips out of his hands, whatever it is. But Waddle. See, there are players that work on their touchdown celebrations. Waddle works on different ways to drop the ball. And so it's a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah, man. This one was weird. Waddle usually catches. Go ahead.
I'm just hoping that drop doesn't happen the moment it's a Ravens
game,
playoffs,
Bills game.
It's and you're like, God, dude, happens all the time to you.
Yeah, but then there's gonna happen where a moment where he catches one of those, and you're gonna be like, that's why the Dolphins drafted him. That's why he should be front of the line to pay him, right? It can go either way. Look, Waddle has dynamic speed. He's an incredible playmaker. He's playing a second fiddle and he's not complaining one bit. I mean, this kid is happy as hell to be on this team. You could think about any other second receiver in the league, right? You think, maybe T. Higgins is happy next to Jamar Chase, but how many other people are going to be really, really happy with their secondary role compared to Tyreek Hill when he was the number one receiver for a season?
T just wants to get paid, bro. T would be happy. He just wants his money, and Cincinnati ain't going to pay
Everybody does. Everybody does. You like my glass, by the way? Good celebratory glass here.
I like it. But T just wants to get paid. So
I don't blame him. So do you and I.
He's a number one wide receiver, dude, playing next to obviously a beast, himself. But T. Higgins is a number one receiver in 20 teams in the NFL, because there aren't 20 teams that have their number one is better than T. Higgins. Actually,
I would agree with that statement.
Oh yeah, dude, please. T. Higgins is a monster. It's just
I would agree with that statement.
He's hitting next to the other guy. But anyway, back to the Dolphins. The depth has really come through overall. The front office has done a marvelous job. I'm sure right now, Chris Greer is working the phones trying to figure out a linebacker and where the hell to get a linebacker now. At this point, what do you do from within? Is there anything you can do from within?
You got to play Riley now. Riley steps up into that role specifically. You take Ginks back out of playing inside linebacker because you only have Agba there. I don't know. JPP played much in this game, if at all, but he was active. Maybe if JPP is playing a little more, you put Ginkle back. But they're gonna have to tinker with this, and they're gonna have to figure it out. They're gonna have to sign somebody. I'm not sure if there's anybody in the practice squad that could step up and fill in, but middle linebacker, there's a lot of responsibility there. You're the play caller of the defense. So for that person to come in on a fly and do all that, it's tough. You're gonna have to depend on Holland a lot to play up a little bit more, I think. You got to play a little bit more nickel and dime, maybe, to take another linebacker off the field and just go another DB if you could do that. Those are probably just a couple thoughts, coming off the top of my head right now. I know the defense would play nickel and dime 6 DBs. I'm not sure if Van would do that or not and keep the linebacker. So we'll see. But the Dolphins figure it out, and the good thing is the offense is back, and they might just have to outscore everybody at this point.
Yeah, the one thing I will lay the information that I will lay out for everybody out there, and I've already done it. I did it several weeks ago. Oh, wait a minute, did we lose that?
I'm here.
So the info I told you guys before, because everybody they need a thumper at linebacker. That's not what they're looking for actually at middle linebacker on this team. They need guys that are athletic and agile and that can move around. He wants guys like David Long. He wants actually guys like Baker. He needs athleticism out there. He needs guys that have range. So if it's guys that are thumpers and might be closer to 2 down linebackers, that's not what he's looking for. He won't put that at linebacker. He's really looking for these giant linebackers, unless the giant linebacker, can fly around like a deer, but those kind of guys really aren't usually available in free agents.
Yeah. The game has changed as well for linebackers. That's why a linebacker like Baker does so well right now, because he can cover tight ends, he can cover running backs, he can rush the passer. If there's a slot receiver coming across the middle, he could defend that. That's what you're looking for in a linebacker, to play all of those roles. And it's not your traditional Brian Urlacher or Zach Thomas linebacker where you're just, playing with the front guys in front of you and just going after the quarterback. You got to be able to do a little bit more.
Do we know anything on the Baker injury? Have they said anything?
Just a knee injury, and he is out for now. I believe Mike is at least talking to the media right now as we're speaking. But I can't imagine that was good. I didn't like the play. I understand what Brandon Jones was trying to do. I understand, Baker's leg just kind of got caught right there at the mix. It was, just trial by fire kind of situation. I don't even think they gave up a touchdown in that sequence either. which is kind of crazy to think about because they got right down to the one. But it's a really unfortunate situation. Jerome Baker, I don't think he's had a major injury during his whole time as a Dolphins.
Very durable.
He's been very durable, and that's probably a big downfall there too. That's a guy who's every season I've been here, he's played every down, man. So that's a huge loss. That's a huge loss, and I already told you last week about Jalen Phillips. I thought that was a major loss for the Dolphins because everybody else started to eat more because Jalen Phillips commanded a lot more attention. So it really sucks that these 2 wins were business wins. Offense got it done, defense got it done, but they came at a cost, and it's really, really unfortunate. And the Dolphins are just gonna have to score more points and figure out their holes, man. That's really what it comes down to. And it really sucks because Jerome Baker is, the player that he is, and been a really good Dolphin player for the last couple of years.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let's one negative that I'm going to have to lay on this game. If it's hard to find negatives in this game, but I'm going to find one because I have no choice. Unfortunately, they left me with no choice. Armstead looks like he got banged up again. At one point,
why did he play in the first place?
Exactly, you have to protect the player from himself.
Yeah,
and there is no position. This is amazing to say this. This is the left effing tackle. There is no position in the entire team that has better and more capable and more reliable backup than Teron Armstead. Okay?
Yeah.
Because Kendall Lamb is arguably the 4th best lineman behind Austin Jackson, who mauls linebackers, by the way, for a living. I don't know if anybody saw that in the second level. It looked like it was a horror movie, and he was Jason coming at his ass. You guys need to go see that play. That was awesome, by the way. Seriously. But anyway, Austin Jackson and Connor Williams. And Hunt. I got to put, whatever. But, wow, dude. I mean, Kendall Lamb is a star. If I'm McDaniel, I'm like, Austin, Tron, you want to get pissed off at me? Bro, call me a dickhead, call me an idiot, call me a moron, call me anything you want in the media. Go ahead. You ain't playing for a couple of weeks. I need you for Baltimore. I need you for Dallas. I need you to Buffalo. I don't need you for these games, dude. I'm sorry. I'm going to be quite honest here. Kendall Lamb can handle this. You, please, sit down and finally get healthy. They're not ever giving him a chance to get healthy. They get a little healthy, and then they put him back out there, and all he does is re-injure himself again. It makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's more. Teron than the Dolphins, because the Dolphins have been very. Excuse me. The Dolphins have been very considerate and very deliberate in how they've rested guys and put them back in. Look at A-Chain, for example. Look at Ramsey. They came back, close to 100%. Armstead, I don't know why he played in this game. Outside of to get some work, but we'll see if that's really like an ankle turn, if he did hurt his ankle, or that was the reason that they took him out the game. Rob Hunt didn't come out. Rob Hunt came out the game as well with an injury that maybe if he had a flare up or not. But by the end of that game, all the backups were in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the game, all the backups were in, and I think Fox changed the channel. It was so bad. But you need him for the last 3 games in the playoffs. You don't need him for right now.
Yeah, dude. And by the way, you're playing a team that traded their pass rush. Like, get the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah,
traded their 2 pass rushers.
You could have put a third. You could have put a third string lineman in today, and it would have been okay.
Keon Smith would have handled it, dude. He's actually developing into a very capable player, by the way, Keon Smith. Which is truly amazing for the front office and this coaching staff, that Keon Smith is also adding to the depth on this team, which is pretty freaking cool.
The offensive line depth has been a revelation. It's been the best part about probably the Dolphin season, outside of the defense making its turn at the time it did. You had so many guys come down for injuries, and now you're at a point where you don't have to play people because you need them. You can rest them. So they have to figure this Teron thing out. I don't think he plays next week or practices much this week coming up if he does have the ankle or the legs and stuff. But need Teron as put together as he can be for the stretch run, and hopefully he gets healthy enough by then.
Brother, this is what I would do. Okay, when
Mhm.
Tehran shows up at the facility tomorrow morning, okay,
Put in bubble wrap.
I'm gonna have a representative of Barbados there, and say, "Here's a couple of plane tickets for you and the wife. You want to take the kids? Go ahead. Rihanna is waiting for your ass. She's there in Barbados. They got the call going on. You go relax over there for a couple weeks. We'll check back with you in a couple weeks. Okay, you just go have a couple of whatever you like to drink on the beach, and just go
You know how
chill.
many other you know how many other Dolphins players will line up for that? I'd line up for that too.
Yeah, but this Dolphins player needs to get the hell out of here for a little while. We don't need him right now, bro. You know, it's just that was just so frustrating. I'm going, why wasting his time? And he could end up just getting injured and you're done. And then what happens if Kendall Lamb now becomes like, brother, he is a linchpin of all linchpins right now.
Definitely.
Like, can we, that bald guy that walks around with all the Heat players? That's, I know he knows,
the security guy.
Yeah. He can take you out with like two fingers. Have that guy follow around Kendall Lamb from here on out, because Kendall needs to be protected right now.
Kendall Lamb is the protection, and he needs protection.
So he can do his protecting.
Yeah,
so
I believe. Yeah.
Call me Jason Statham. Okay. All right. Give me the transporter. All right. And make sure we take care of Kendall Lamb here. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Tua Tagovailoa was on. And for all of you that think, he can't throw off of pressure, well, guess what? He had to reset several times and made some plays too at the same time. So there you go for you Tua disbelievers.
Listen, Tua had a good game, and they picked their moments, and they picked them really well. It didn't turn the ball over, didn't see a fumble, didn't see a pick, which was great. First game in a while, he's been clean in that sense. And the best part about it too, even more for me, they pulled him from the game, got Mike White in there, pulled Tyreek from the game, like got all the backups in. That was just great decision by Mike McDaniel. No need to put these guys back out there. Plus, it was like a crazy day in Washington already weather-wise, and you don't know what's going on over there. But 45-15, 9-3, incredible shape, far away from Buffalo in the AFC East. And, the Ravens are off this week, but, the Chiefs play later tonight. You're still holding ground, and you're winning the games you're supposed to win. And you're not losing the games like you mentioned earlier. You're not losing these games to BS people.
Yeah. I know Lamb didn't play. You play Keon, bro. You get by. You play whoever you can.
Look at this.
Toronto arms against a team with no pass rush.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Put Stafford out there.
Oh yeah, I would
put Robert Hunt at left tackle. Put Liam Eichenberg at left tackle.
No need to get all crazy there.
What? Liam Eichenberg can do it now. Now Liam
Eichenberg can. Yeah, I'm not putting Rob Hunt there though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Look, if this is what we're upset about after a 45-15 win, then so be it. I'm with you on that one. But yeah, they should have rested Armstead. It's a good thing that they pulled him when they did. And you know what? You got a game against who? The Jets or the Titans coming up here? Which one is it?
No, it's the Titans, then the Jets.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So Titans are really bad too. Defense should take care of that one, and you have enough on offense there too. So. Will Tua get sacked a little bit? Against the Titans, they have a good front. Maybe you want to get Armstead back. They play on Monday night, so you have an extra day here.
No, Keon Smith. Anybody? You don't need to get. No, dude.
I agree.
On Armstead on the sidelines, the guy never gets healthy.
Yeah.
Why are we against shitty teams? Could have got with anybody, dude. They won the last game against the Jets with a much better front, with all the backups in there except, what was it, Austin? I want to say.
Yeah, I think Austin played. Connor played as well. Austin and Connor, and everybody else was backups.
Everybody else was back. Keon was one of them.
Yeah.
And if they can handle the Jets pass rush, What is the Commanders, dude?
They'd be ready for playoff time. If they can handle the Jets pass rush, I might even put them in a playoff game.
I'm telling you, Kendall Lamb becomes more and more important every single day with this whole Teron Armstead situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that guy, you better put him and better make sure you take care of his ass, because he's the one that I know can play the position at a big level for those games coming up that you want to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that's preventable. That's something that you could really control right now. The thing that's out of the Dolphins' control right now is Baker and Phillips being out. And that's very unfortunate for both those guys.
By the way, I couldn't have been more wrong. We'll wrap it up with this. When Tyreek was talking about 2000, I said, no, there's no way that happens this year, because they're going to be dedicated to the run. And I was talking about how they're going to keep a fifth running back. They're going to dedicate themselves more to the run, all that. And that's exactly what's happened. But he's also going to get the 2,000 yards. I did not. No, that don't make sense. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. No.
He's at 13-24 right now. 13-24 with 14 games. So 12 games. How many games left? Five left.
No. He was at 13-24 without this game.
Oh, without this game. Okay. Excuse me.
Yes.
Plus, you add another 150 on top of that. So you're right now you just passed 1,500 already.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was Tyreek being Tyreek as well, and I didn't think Waddle being around would help that. But they have the perfect. The offense is catered around Tyreek. This is Tyreek's offense. McDaniel realized he has a unicorn over there, a guy with 1 foot in the Hall of Fame, and he changed his whole offense to cater this guy, right? That's why you saw in the Hard Knocks episode when he hurt his hand, Mike is like, is Tyreek there? Is Tyreek here? Is Tyreek ready? Is Tyreek up? The whole offense is around Tyreek, so he's got to stay healthy, and the Dolphins have to continue, feeding him, because he is one of the greatest players in the league right now.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, what do you got going in USA Today?
Yeah, definitely. I'm checking out this Eagles 49ers game today. I'll keep an eye on what Mike and Tua say after this game as well. But, man, it's December, dude. Last month of the year. Looking forward to the rest of the season. I'll be at Monday Night Football. That should be fun. 2 Monday night games this week. But I know a lot of people are probably going to watch the Dolphins, because I don't know if that other matchup is that great or not.
No. And by the way, anything is better. You could be watching Chargers and Patriots, and so be grateful.
I just don't understand the Chargers at all, bro. Do not understand them at all. They play up, they play down. They don't ever, they're never the aggressor in their games. They're always playing to their competition.
I will keep telling all of you out there that are in love with his talent and all that stuff. Justin Herbert is not built like the guy in Jacksonville. Watch the guy in Jacksonville, how he plays and leads in the position. Mm-hmm. There's a different fire that comes with that guy. The other guy is a little soft surfer boy, and he just kind of goes with the flow. Just watch the body language, bro.
Definitely. And it's Brandon Staley too.
Forget Tua. I'm just going to point at somebody just like him, except there's a different personality inside one human being and the other. And that's why when I look at Trevor Lawrence, I say, that dude's got it. When I look at Justin Herbert, I just say, that's Jeff George with a little bit more athletic ability. That's all that is. It's an impressive human being, talent, but it ain't Trevor Lawrence who wants to cut your heart out. Okay? It's different, dude. It's just
definitely.
That's why I measure it differently, and I look at those guys differently. I don't fear Herbert as much as his talent. I fear Trevor Lawrence, because he's going to do whatever it takes to win. And that's what I love about Tua. It's the same shit. He's like my Yorkie. It's like my – I always say I have 4 dogs. I have the
small dog, big bark, big bite.
No, and that 3-pound dog will attack anything in the world. It doesn't matter. Godzilla standing out there, he's running out there thinking he can take it on. It doesn't matter. He's the most dangerous dog in the world, because somebody's going to kill him right away. And so it's crazy. And that's Tua, right? And to me, when I look at Trevor Lawrence, I say that's what's missing from Justin Herbert, that spirit that's inside Trevor Lawrence.
Definitely.
So, all right. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Dean. We will talk on Tuesday, my friend. Be good.
See you, Bigo.
You got it. All right. We talk about Baptist Health, folks. If you have an injury, folks, that is keeping you from doing what you love, take charge of your health and get back into the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. And they've got locations everywhere, man, down in the Keys. And they've got it at Fisherman's Community in Marathon Key, Mariners Hospital at Tavernier Key, all the way up in Boynton Beach and Bethesda, East and West, 2 different locations. Boca Regional, of course, in Kendall, the original on 89th and Kendall Drive, Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables. Go check it out. Homestead and Baptist Way, 975 Baptist Way, baptisthealth.net/ortho.
The Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with insider Safid Dean is brought to you by Baptist Health of South Florida. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at baptisthealth.net.
I'm sorry, Sean, you got some for us?
No, I wanted to add on to what you were talking at the end about Tyreek's 2,000 yards.
Yes.
Did you see that Mostert over total yards entering today's game was almost at 1,000 yards total?
Yeah.
He had like 800 rushing and 157 receiving. So I'm sure he's over that now. And H-Hand's doing it as well. So it's, like you said, it's amazing how he's getting there. Yeah.
Mostert leads the NFL in touchdowns.
Yeah. And Chan's not too far behind him, right?
Right. Well, yeah. Now,
He played. He's
picked up a couple more. I mean, this is fun, dude. This is why you guys got to stop, you negative people out there. You got to stop with this, dude. Let it go already. But this is the time where you're not playing great. This is a team that doesn't have pass rush. This was a great day to give Keon Smith a lot of playing time. This was a day. There's no reason to put Teron Armstead out there. I don't care if there's a 4th tackle we haven't seen that is on the practice squad. Bring his ass up. Obviously, you people can coach anybody. These people are good, man. You're playing against a team that, come on, has no pass rush anymore. They have chosen to check out. You got some there? You checked in there?
No. I wanted to get you after your thought. I thought you were done. The Dolphins outscored the AFC East today, 45-8.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. We are in the chamber of winning. Okay. All right. Let me start off here. Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Let's get to your questions, comments, insults, whatever it is you got going for me. We appreciate it. Alexander Lopez sends in Bitcoin. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You know that makes me happy, my brother. I appreciate you immensely sending in a little Bitcoin. Thank you. Let me see what he put there. Unsung hero every week. This week it's Duke Riley. Yes, sir. Duke's a really good dude. He's an excellent special teamer. And when we talk about guys like Duke Riley, it's kind of an unknown. Okay. Like I told you, I'm not comfortable with him yet at linebacker. Those kind of guys are dangerous because you love the Larry Izzos, but then when you put them at linebacker, you don't love them nearly as much. Unfortunately, because they don't play as well, And Duke has had some moments at linebacker. He's been able to actually play well. And it's pretty damn cool to watch the way Duke Riley has played, man. I love it to watch the way Duke Riley has played. If he can build on this, remember, with Fangio, maybe this goes to another level. Fangio was talking this week how he thinks the scheme has been able to unleash Christian Wilkins a little bit more. And we can't argue with that because Christian Wilkins is getting more sacks right now. They played really well today, man. It was just a lot of fun. He also put DJ Gallagher, of course, Alexander Lopez. He says, Big O, this is our year. Damn right, bro. Damn right. I'm with you as always. Stephen M. sending in a little Bitcoin, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. He says, some Bitcoin for AVG's performance. Yes, sir. He was absolutely awesome, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Always appreciate it. Nothing like a little Bitcoin. Always love that. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Hateful Steve, great game for Tua, but I'm not going to pretend he didn't do the same old thing and throw the deep ball to Waddle in double coverage. Waddle wasn't open for even a split second on that route, and he still threw it up there. If you watch every quarterback, they're going to force a throw or two. But today, the good thing is he didn't turn it over and no fumbles. No fumbles. Did you watch the pregame show, Steve? I encourage all of you to watch the pregame show and watch the section where I talk about Tua. It's in the second hour. And I want to say maybe it's about 10, 20 minutes into the second hour. And I break down the overreaction a little bit of the turnovers and what people don't realize what's going on. So I kind of put it in a more realistic perspective. I encourage those of you that might be super concerned about it to watch the pregame show and you won't be as concerned. The fumbles, Steve. Now, those are absolutely unacceptable. It's way too many already. And you can listen to that because I explain it. But today he was good. No turnovers, and he's got to start learning to play a much cleaner game and much more efficient. Yes, sir, Sean.
It's 1:17 in on 1 hour and 17 minutes in on the complete. It is 8 minutes in on hour 2, or you can check it out as its own standalone. Tua, the real on Tua and his turnover issues.
There you go. The best. Sean Stanley. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Alexis Palenzuela, we have to extend Van Ginkle. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. Peter German and Alexis, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Peter German, great win for the Finns. Props to AVG and Riley. Run game was good. Welcome back, Achan. Viva Las Vegas. Damn right. And I'll be in Las Vegas this weekend. All right. Anybody going to be there? Anybody watching in Vegas? I'll be there Thursday night. I arrive. I'm there through Sunday night. I leave at 11:59 on the red eye. Anthony Lizzie on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Hated seeing Phillips go down, but Van Ginkle is a beast. He's always around the ball. You called it. Also, Tua was awesome today. Yep. I mean, there's some things you can't teach, and one of the things you can't teach is instincts. And that's what Van Ginkle has. He has instincts. And that's the kind of stuff that it makes a coach's life that much more easier. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And, of course, a little Bitcoin donations we love. All right, what do we got on the Super Chats? Give it to me. Man of 1,005 holds. Like these games, Dolphins took care of business and no major injuries. Pats losing makes me happy. Go Fins. Well, disagree. I think the Baker injury is major. That's a major injury, bro. You know, I'm not the Tehran one, and as long as it's not season ending, it doesn't look like it's season ending, but it sucks because he got injured again in a game you didn't need him. I would have played Keon Smith happily. Okay? Happily, I would have played Keon Smith. By the way, watch Austin Jackson play. Man, he is getting more and more confident. He is fun to watch. Really, he has turned into a stud. Next up, Sean. Vinny Lenya, thank you for the love in the super chat. I know it was just Washington, but that was a complete as a game as I've seen they've had. Tua look great, fins up. Yeah, they did what they were supposed to do. You beat Carolina, but you're like, man, why did we start off 14-0? and you're like, that's just not right. And that you didn't have that feeling today. Next up, Beer Noob 21. I don't know if I'm more bullish on the Finns or Bitcoin. I'll tell you what, if the Dolphins if the Dolphins get as bullish as Bitcoin, then they're winning multiple titles. Okay. Because there's nothing more bullish and more positive than Bitcoin in this world right now. True Fin fan, just like last year, huh? BS, healthy now. Exactly. I mean, much healthier, better. They're a better team. They're physically more healthier than they were last year, and they're more experienced. Better coaching. Come on, man. It's just too many of you are so beaten up in the past, and you don't allow yourselves to just live in the moment and enjoy week to week. Next up, it is Frank Piega. AVG is the truth. 3 home games now. Let's go. Amen, bro. Amen. Take care of the home games. Thank you, sir. Edward Thurston Howe. Andrew Van Ginkle deserves a longer contract with a big pay raise. Edward, he is earning himself a longer contract and a pay raise. So he's taking care of it himself. You don't have to worry about it. He's not going anywhere. Next up. Oh, that's it? Okay. We've caught up. All right. Appreciate it. As always, thank you all out there. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Pedro Farias. Thank you, sir, for Fins Up Big O, Devon Achan, Van Ginkle, Game Changer. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Pedro, Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Samuel says the Eagles are nothing without the referees. They were supposed to be 6-5, but the referees and the Eagles are 10-1. Hey, man, listen, let the Dolphins just need to take care of business from here on out. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. They just have to take care of business. Win your games, win it out. Baltimore's coming. They're a game ahead of you, right? Or a win ahead of you. Take care of them. You put them out. You put them out. You put them behind you. You move on. You've got now home field. You've beaten Baltimore there anyway, but now you've got home field. Then you're going to have an opportunity to finish out Buffalo. And you're going to have an opportunity to send Dallas, even though the chokers really are not going to get there. But just in case the choking Cowboys actually get to, the Super Bowl, you need to send a message and say, hey, look, this is what's going to happen when you play us. And that's all you got to do. Just keep winning, and everything falls into place for the Dolphins. They can have home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the AFC and then go to the neutral field in Las Vegas, where you and I will get together and have one of the greatest weeks of our lives, because we're going to have a blast leading up to it. We're going to do a lot of shows. We'll be at Tommy Rocker's Dolphins Bar in Vegas. Okay, we got all of that set up already. And then we're going to all watch that championship. And then we're going to have the greatest post-game show ever. And then we're going to fly home and have multiple parades and have a blast. And then get ready for another season. And who knows? Maybe another championship. That's kind of what the Dolphins do, just in case. When the Dolphins go for a championship, they say, we're going to go for a few more. So, that's what's going to happen. Last time they took 2. No less than 2 this time around again. You know what I'm saying? But you got to let it all go. Let all that stuff go, that stuff in the past. I mean, think about it. This is the kind of team that wins a championship. The one that overcomes and people fill in and take over, and AVG comes in and tears it up the first time around. AVG comes in the second time, tears it up. Agba, A couple weeks ago, he came in, got a sack. Now again, he's doing the job. Lineman after lineman are performing. That you got to love what's going on here. Tyreek is a game-changing player, and this coach knows how to use him, and that quarterback knows how to throw it to him. Because he's putting up the kind of numbers he never put up in Kansas City. What he needs now is obviously what's missing, which is the title. And then that's when you justify the move and the stats and all that stuff for Tyreek. That's what's going to end up happening. But, man, there were so many things to talk. We got a little word with Tyreek twisting the foot. The Waddle drop, well, that's – what can I tell you? I don't know. McD losing a challenge. Some things – you can count on McDaniel to lose challenges, which I believe he is now 2-10. Okay, McDaniel's 2-10, and one of the two was one on complete incompetence. It was that his special teams coordinator, who's mediocre, was actually rushing off the field his 11th player, not 12th player on the field, which is embarrassing in its own right, but whatever. So we have those things. Then we have AVG with the sack, the interception for the touchdown. He almost blocks a punt, so he puts out a hell of a performance out there. You've got, by the way, Sealer ends up getting a sack also. Duke Riley forcing a drop, tackle for loss if he would have hung on, obviously. What else? Mostert, who leads the NFL with 14 touchdowns scoring. Tyreek, 2 touchdowns today, over 60 yards. First Dolphin player since Paul Warfield to do that in a game. Since Paul Warfield. So when you hear from your old man, your grandfather, somebody tell you, oh, wait a minute, you didn't see Paul Warfield. Paul Warfield was a badass of badasses. Okay? I mean, that guy was poetry in motion. Julian Hill. Wow, I think today was a really important day for Julian Hill because Julian Hill looked really good in the offseason and preseason. All that. I fell in love with the kid, and he was one of those guys that said, he's got to make the roster. He's got some playmaking ability. And in a week that we're all talking about Zach Ertz, okay, Julian Hill comes out, has 2 catches for 23 yards. And up until this point, every time Julian Hill got an opportunity, it didn't look good. Poor kid just, struggled with the moment and all that. And today, two catches for 23 yards are pedestrian numbers. It's nothing special or anything like that. But for Julian Hill, I think it was enormous. And this is the kind of game, the Washington, the Tennessee game, the Jets game. These are the kind of games that you want him now kind of turning the corner and getting ready for the bigger matchups. This is something that we need to watch from here on out. Okay? Because Durham Smythe had no catches, right? So you look at it. Damn, it looks like he didn't even play or something. But Julian Hill now getting the action that he got today. What happens next week? What happens the week after? If we start seeing more and more action from Julian Hill, I think this is a really cool thing. I think it's a really cool thing. And maybe it took him half a season to kind of get, Chris Brooks, you can't measure that stuff. Some guys get it right away. Some guys take a little bit of an adjustment. And some guys, Achan, did not need an adjustment. He got it right away. And Julian Hill, it's taken him a little bit. Chris Brooks was an impact from the second of training camp. They gave him the ball, and you're like, hey, Who's this guy? Chris Brooks. He caught your eye from the get-go. But Julian Hill was the guy that kind of disappeared when he finally got to the big stage. And that's the rookie stuff. But it's really nice to see the way he played today. So I hope it's not an aberration. I hope it's actually the real deal here, and he's turned the corner. So Warfield was a smooth athlete and would block too. Think almost Hill's speed, McDuffie's hands, and Waddle's route running. I like that. Tua is silencing the haters, Big O. Don't worry, Freddie. They'll hide in the weeds, waiting to come out and pick on the kid. Big O Show says, Ken, Miami right now is winning the break over Baltimore based on the best winning percentage in conference games. Miami 6-2, Baltimore 6-3. Miami is the number 1 seed right now. Yeah, no, but Baltimore, they can win their 10th game, right? Are they playing today? I don't even know. Is Baltimore playing today, guys? I'm in my Dolphin mode right now, so I'm not paying attention to the entire scoreboard, to be quite honest. I forgot. Let's see if the Ravens are even playing today. No, the Ravens actually don't play. They're off. The Ravens, Giants, Vikings, Raiders, Bears, Bills are off. Okay? By the way, the finals, the Colts beat the Titans. It's amazing how the Colts find ways to win. They're 7-5, 31-28 in overtime over the Titans. The team Miami will play next. Then it's the Chargers over the Patriots, 6-0. Let me see Justin Herbert's amazing stats against the Patriots in a 6-0 game. What did Justin Herbert do? Let's see. 22 of 37 for 212 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. There you go. This is Justin Herbert. That's my imitation of Justin Herbert. You ever see that? Notice in the games. Does it all the time. It's like you do the same thing every time. Like, what does that mean? It's weird. It's odd, but he's 5-7, so he's a dominant force. The great Justin Herbert. Anyway, let's get back to giving you the scores here. It is the Lions over the Saints, 33-28. So Lions improved to 3-0. Falcons over the Jets, 13-8. Jets dropped to 4-8. Gotta love that, dude. And the Texans over the Broncos, 22-17. So the Broncos are no longer on a win streak already at this point. What do you got, Sean?
Our boy Boyle got benched also. Trevor Siemian finished for the Jets. So just to add some hardship there.
Yes, Boyle, 14 of 25, 148 yards and an intercept. He's a terrible quarterback. And then Trevor Siemian, just as bad, 5 of 13 for 66 yards. It's just a bad situation. And as Loverboy would say, I'm loving every minute of it. Big O, who gives a crap? Finns play Ravens this year and can settle the record issue on their own. Yep, exactly. That's my point. That's it. Big O, I wish Omar and Poop was still on your show so you can rub it in because you told them Van Ginkle was a playmaker, especially Omar last year. Well, that was 2 years of talking with Omar about Van Ginkle. Mark Smith, 6-0, says was 6-0 was snowing in a hurricane and everyone had the flu, right? Oh, yes. No, it wasn't. It was just the good old choking Chargers. Warfield was lightning quick, fast, and started as a running back. Sounds like anyone else we know? Let's see. Mark Smith says, go to the like button. There we go. Go to the like button's house and wet all the toilet paper. Don't forget to check under the sink and then hit the like button. That too. Okay. Next episode of Hard Knocks is about to be a great one. I hope they do a feature on Van Ginkle. The only problem is, okay, Van Ginkle's fun to watch, not fun to listen to. He's that, he's Tim Duncan. He's trying to think of an exciting player that was kind of boring to talk to. An exciting player that was who? Let me see. An exciting player, boring to. Well, I mean, Mike Stanton, boring to talk to. Exciting because of home runs. Barry Sanders was kind of boring. He's actually better retired. Joe Montana, boring. He did it on purpose because apparently behind the scenes he actually had a personality. That's what I'm told. But on TV, he was actually normally on TV, he's kind of boring. Let's see. The Eagles, what Tua does that so often to keep the defense on their toes. He is not going to complete every long pass. Of course not. Of course not, dude. But people want to nitpick every little thing Tua does. And if you watch every quarterback, in every game, they're going to have a couple of really ugly throws, one that they got lucky that it didn't get turned over, one that was kind of an ugly decision. That happens all the time. All the damn time, to be quite honest. So let's not freak out like this is something new, But they just want to nitpick with Tua, unfortunately. Let's see what we got here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Joe Cracchiola, thank you on Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Why do we watch Big O Show? Because he's spot on that Tua is our franchise. The O-line is no longer a weakness and are actually a strength. And Chris Greer and company know what the F they're doing. Been saying that since day one. That's why we're Big O Nation. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Because we have been right about all that stuff. Steve M says, why don't we keep comparing Tua to Herbert? Wasn't there another QB in the 2020 draft that we could have had that not only beats Tua, but he also wins playoff games and as beats winning Hurts? From now on, let's compare Tua to Hurts. We can do that if you want. I have no problem comparing it. I don't think you can, actually. What do you want to compare? His running stats? You can't compare the passing stats, right? Would you like me to go to the passing stats? The team is better. And that's why they've won a championship. And, well, not this one, but they've been to a Super Bowl. They did win a championship, but it was another Philadelphia team, not this one. But this team has had success in the playoffs lately because they're loaded. Miami is now turning the corner where Tua has the kind of team that Jalen Hurts has had. But if you actually compare the passing stats as a quarterback, I don't think they can be compared, actually. You know that, right? I'll do that for you if you want, Steve. I can bring it up if you want. I'll bring up his stats. Let's see here. Let's go with the Eagles. Where are the Eagles? Here we are. Okay, we'll go with Jalen Hurts passing stats, right? Because obviously we know he's got running stats. That'll kill what Tua does. But his passing stats, he has so far 18 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and 2,697 yards. He also completes 67% of his passes. Okay? You got that, right? So now Tua has thrown for 3,177 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. I think it's a little better, right? In stats, passing-wise. And his completion percentage is 69.8 to his 67. Now, rushing, that can never be compared and never will be compared. Tua has a robust 40 yards going into this game. Jalen Hurts. Where did the Jalen Hurts stats go? Either way, well, I mean, it's going to, oh, there we go. Good. All right. How did that disappear like that? That was weird. 410. 40 to 410. Okay. And 11 push touchdowns. So, yeah, we can compare, but we really can't because it's asinine to compare the passers. You can't. Tua is a superior passer to Jalen Hurts and will always be, by the way, Steve. Jalen Hurts will never be the passer that Tua is. Tua's a guy that he's a volume passer. You can do that. With Jalen Hurts, that's not really what his game is. He doesn't sit in the pocket and throw it 30, 40 times. That's not really what you want him to do. Notice he throws it less and has the same amount of interceptions as Tua. Let me see. .358 to 377. So it's kind of almost a game, a little less than a game difference. So one throws it more than the other and has better stats than the other. So as a passer, Tua has a better completion percentage, all of that. Hurts is a different kind of quarterback because he relies on the running game in order to be successful as a quarterback because he's not a pure pocket passer. So that's what Herbert is. And he can run, but he's really a pocket passer that has the option of running, has the ability to run. By the way, Justin Herbert has the ability to run because he runs like a freaking deer. That guy's fast. So you can compare them however you want, but it's kind of hard if we're just talking about what a quarterback does, which is a passer. Don't think we can ever do that with Jalen Hurts and Tua. Last time I checked, somebody took Jalen Hurts' job in Alabama and went on to win a title, Steve, because they benched him because he wasn't accurate that half. Yeah, Sean.
Oh, no, I was going to wait till you finished. I have a couple of NFL notes because, they always send out the good stats after
yes, sir.
Patriots lose. So, and then also in the chat, the Steelers are losing because Kenny Pickett is out. Mitchell Trubisky is playing. So that's why they're down so bad. Okay, this is the stat. The Patriots have lost 3 straight games where they allowed 10 points or fewer. No team has done this since 1938.
Oh, when they played with leather helmets. It does. This Patriots story just gets better and better and better every single time, dude. It's just that the demise of Bellichick is one of those things that for me personally, I really take a lot of pleasure in watching Bellichick squirm and just die on the vine there. And this whole thing too gets worse for him because the more he's out there, the more he exposes himself on how bad this situation is and what a bad coach he is right now. You guys do know that, right? I mean, if we're going to allow ourselves to call him the GOAT and say, well, no, this is the greatest coach of all time. He's got the 6 rings and he gets off the gravy train with players all the time. And he finds guys from other teams. And if we're going to start doing that and give him all the praise for everything, then we need to talk about what kind of a dog shit coach he is the last couple of years. Right? I mean, if we're going to be fair, that's the problem in this society. We don't hold people accountable. We want to prop them up, and then when it's not so good, and maybe it's not in the best interest of other people out there, I don't know. But Belichick, what's he done that's impressive the last couple of years? I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Oh, I'm sorry. He snuck into the playoffs like 4 years ago. I know this is a league that mediocre teams sneak into the playoffs every year on the back end. Okay, my beloved Miami Dolphins, when they sneak in as a 6 and 7 seed, they don't belong in the playoffs. Just like really most 6 and 7 seeds in the NFL never really belong in the playoffs. Let's be honest. Those teams nowadays, we're at a point where they really have no shot. Unless they were so injury riddled all year long that they got healthy at the end, and then the record unfortunately ended up there, or some outlier like that is the only thing that can save a team from that. But year in and year out on a consistent basis, the teams you watch make the 6 and 7 spot are shit. There are teams that never have a shot, i.e. our Dolphins. Not these. I'm talking about the crappy past. The stuff that we don't resemble at all nowadays. But Belichick, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be pointed out. And too many people are afraid to say, no, don't take away the credit from the GOAT. No, dude, you got to take the credit away from the GOAT. Because he's not the GOAT right now. He's a freaking buffoon right now. The stupid ass shit that he does on a consistent basis, the Matt Patricia stuff, the drafting of Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi, or not having a quarterback this year to start the season, backing up Mac Jones, everything that they have constantly proven that they're unprepared for everything. Tom Brady saved that man's ass over and over and over again. Great coordinator. I'm not convinced he's a great coach. Not anymore. So he needs to get exposed, and exposed in a big-time way. Big O, at this point, I believe Tomlin has shown more than Belichick, who's a great DC. Oh, God, yes, it's not even close. Tomlin does a fantastic job with less, and he manages crappy personalities like a god. That guy had Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown all on the same team and made it work. They should hire Mike Tomlin for, I would say, international affairs. Okay? I mean, that guy knows how to put it all together, brother. Holy crap. That man is. At one point, I thought he was kind of losing it with all the stuff that was coming out with Brown. And then when everything really came out and you realize, wow, how did he keep an idiot like Ben Roethlisberger in check for so long? And then you add Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Oh, my God. Impressive. All right, let's get to our Welton and Ray Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton and Ray Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother? You doing good?
Doing well, yeah. Came out here to D.C., did all the sightseeing yesterday, and then now a dominant Miami Dolphins victory, 45-15.
Yes, but again, price to be paid because unfortunately, Jerome Baker got injured. Did you see him in the locker room? Did it look bad because the dude needed help? So God, it just looked bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. I went into the locker room here at FedEx Field, the visitors' locker room. Did not see him, so there was a section blocked off with the for medical attention. So I'm assuming he was there. His 55 locker was empty, vacated over there. Did talk to Duke Riley, who was nearby, and David Long was getting to his. That was right next to it as well. But Mike McDaniel did say post game he does not believe it's season ending for him. Just an unfortunate play. I mean, he's chasing down on a mismatch with a wide receiver, Curtis Samuel. Brandon Jones is trying to tackle him before he gets to the pylon, and then that friendly fire on the left knee. So tough blow for him. And then Duke Riley came in after that, wore the green dot. Actually had 7 tackles coming in after him. So that's good to see. That just it's another scenario where, hey, maybe that next guy up can provide it, like we've seen with the offensive line, like we see this game with the edge rushers coming in for Jalen Phillips.
Dude, I've been telling everybody the Dolphins are going to prove to have one of the best front offices in the NFL, and that's exactly what they do, bro. They have. We've never seen 5 linemen and backups. In fact, most teams don't have 5 linemen and backups, and yet somehow or another the Dolphins have 5 linemen and backups everywhere. Jalen Phillips gone. Here comes Andrew Van Ginkle and Agba. Running backs are injured. Backup running backs play. Linemen are injured. Other guys come in. Safety's injured today. Brandon Jones steps in. There seems to be depth everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some teams don't have. You say some teams don't have 5 linemen, and then some. Some teams don't have 1 or 2 even. I think we've seen a few of them against the Dolphins. One of them that was on the field today, Sam Howell, entered this game getting sacked 55 times, and then there were 3 more today. The Giants would be one of them as well. So, yeah, I mean, a testament to, we always say on the offensive line side, Butch Berry, but I mean, really, Chris Greer and everyone that's under him in player personnel wise, just putting together this roster that, hey, Brandon Jones, he has been a starter in this league, and yeah, more so the strong safety role, and then not so much where it's like too many safeties that do similar things, but with Deshaun Elliott, then he can slide right in there for an injured Javon Holland, and then the same thing, Andrew Van Ginkle and Emmanuel Agba having big games where Agba, I mean, quietly, for as much as he does, as little as he plays, 5 sacks on the season now, as after he had another one today, in very limited snap total, in a very limited snap count total. So it's really impressive that he has 5 with how little he has played.
Yeah, that's actually an awesome stat for him, that he's incredibly productive in the short amount of time. Now he's going to get a lot more playing time, and every time he has gotten an opportunity, and remember, he had kind of like an off year last year. So it's kind of imperative for him to come back. This is a great opportunity for him because there's a good chance he gets cut next year, unless they can kind of rework a deal where they move some money back and extend them or some kind of crap like that. If somehow he shines seriously throughout, then maybe something like that they can, wiggle around it or something. But for him, this is an awesome opportunity to display his skills for the next employer.
Yeah, he's a really good guy to have as your 4th edge rushing outside linebacker on the team, that then when one of your top 2 goes down, then he becomes that rotational piece that can get in there and really just rush the passer with a high motor for those few plays that he is in. So that's an opportunity for him. And yeah, whether it's somewhere else, whether it's just ending up with taking a lot less money to stick around, then that's something to be seen. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he makes a lot of money to be that 4th edge rusher, but still a quality player to have that deep into the roster, which speaks to just the depth of the roster as a whole.
AVG, brother, he put on a flat out show. Okay, I mean, I've been a big AVG supporter. That guy, you see it every single time he's around the football. He finds a way to make a play. It's just absolutely impressive, brother. And he is building himself a nice little resume now to get paid in the offseason.
Yeah, and especially how versatile he is now because he's added that ability to play inside linebacker. And then, now you end up having not only Jalen Phillips, but Jerome Baker injured, and he's a guy that could slide into that role as well. But you can't fit into both spots at the same time. But he's going to end up seeing a lot of snaps now between the two, and then Duke Riley can handle the inside play, and then you have Van Ginkle doing his natural edge rushing type of stuff, which he's only enhanced by also adding the off-ball inside linebacker play. He's kind of got a better scope of the defense as a whole from doing that and gaining that experience in the offseason and in-game now as well. So it's only just made him a better pass rusher, and now he can come in a little bit fresher, although, now he's going to be playing a lot more with Phillips out, but he's added moves to his game. He's added to the way he studies opposing tackles. So he's spoken to me about that in the locker room, and it's just he's becoming a veteran, a knowledgeable veteran that knows how to attack the game in the right way from so many different angles.
Dude, Channing Tindall, what's up, man? You've been here a couple of years. How bad is it, man? I don't know how much I got to go dig to find out, but how bad is this shit with him? How lost is he? Because he can't see the light of day no matter what happens.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if now he at least gets some defensive reps, because he would be the next guy up after Duke Riley at inside linebacker. I think if we would ask Vic Fangio, I think just from an answer he gave several weeks back, is that he hadn't seen Channing Tindall even practicing on defense for a while at that point. And I imagine he hadn't been leading up to, since he said that. So I think they're really not even taking a look at him defensively at practice. And then maybe that changes some now, because you do have to dig a little bit deeper into the roster. And probably, hey, this team with Jerome Baker now set to miss some time might be looking for another inside linebacker that's available also to supplement the roster.
They've done a lot of good stuff on this roster. They've made a lot of great picks. They found a lot of guys undrafted, all that. This is one where it just looks like they've missed, unfortunately, because he has just not been he hasn't been helpful at all, pretty much. He's been an absolute bust.
Yeah.
Up to this point. All right. Toronto.
And to wrap up on him, then it was also such a tough position he was put in, because he's the number 102 pick, end of the third round. In a lot of drafts, a lot of people aren't even going to think of him, but that Dolphins draft, he was the Dolphins' first selection, because they didn't have a first or second rounder or an earlier third round pick. So really, he got a lot more attention than any other late third round final pick of day two. So I think that's why no one would be called a bust for being end of the third round and then not showing up.
Because he's a bust. He doesn't do anything. Okay, as we say en español, es un cero a la izquierda. Okay, un cero a la izquierda. All right. All right, so he's a negative zero, is what basically we say in Spanish. It just sounds so much better. There are things you can say in English that will sound crappy in Spanish, and then there are things that just sound fabulous in Spanish and just sound terrible in English. It's just the way it goes. But
I haven't heard my dad use that one. I'll have to bring it back to him next time I see him.
Yeah. Does he follow sports heavily?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so walk up to him and say, "Oye viejo, Channing Tindall, un cero le." Watch him go.
Yeah. He's watching more casually. I think I'd have to explain to him who Channing Tindall is. He knows the superstars of the Dolphins, but I don't think he's going that deep on the roster.
At this point, Channing Tindall's family can't find his ass. Okay?
Yeah.
His family. All right, Teron Armstead. I got a bone to pick here. This is a team that traded its pass rush. Brother, if Kendall can't play, Keon Smith. If Keon Smith can't play, move Robert Hunt to left tackle. Teron Armstead doesn't need to play. Now he got banged up again. They don't give him. I get it. Teron Armstead must be a pain in the ass behind the scenes saying, I want to play, coach. I want to play, coach. I got to play. I can play. I can play. But this guy, you got to protect him from him, dude. You got to keep him. These are the kind of games you want to rest. Keon Smith played well against the Jets. So play him now against Washington that traded away their pass rush. Today was a day to kind of experiment and get by with that. Why play Teron Armstead when he's not 100%? And look at it, he got injured again.
Yeah. And we don't know if the quadriceps and the knee that he's dealing with also then led to the ankle. It could have just been independent of the other ones, but still, he is a player that's banged up. You didn't want him aggravating any of those other two either. So even if that weren't the case, then, yeah, this wasn't the game where you wanted that to happen. And I'm sure, like you say, and Mike McDaniel has said this, is that Armstead's a warrior. He wants to be out there whenever he can. And, I mean, McDaniel even thought it was going to be a week-to-week thing, and then Armstead's out there playing in this game the very next week after hurting the quadriceps against the Jets. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm with you. They didn't need it. They had some extra days of rest between the Jets in this game, and then now it's also another extra day before the Titans, but then it'll be a shorter week on the other side of that afterwards when you have the Jets at home. So, yeah, you can give them a rest. I think this is the part of the schedule where you can get away with it, and you have a backup that you can trust in that spot.
I just didn't understand him playing today. If you can't put Kendall Lamb out there, then put Keon Smith or find somebody else. Because I trust you guys. Whoever you put out there actually is going to do. Put Liam Eichenberg at left tackle. You probably could get away with it. It just today this was the perfect game to give him a rest. All right, Tyreek, man, what can you say? Like I said at the beginning of the year to point out again that I'm wrong. There's no way he gets 2,000 yards because I thought they would dedicate close to the run, right? And because you're going to run a lot more, there's no way he gets 2,000 yards. Well, guess what? They did dedicate themselves to the run, and they're one of the best at running, and he's going to get the 2,000 yards. This is stupid, bro.
It's unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so what's he at now? He'd be close to, I think he answered 1324. He had 157, so he's almost at 1,500, right? He's closing in on it. I'd have to do some math here, but yeah, I mean, he's on pace. So he has maintained the pace, ahead of the pace for that 2,000-yard season. He's just got to stay healthy, really, and it's pretty much going to happen. So, yeah, just incredible. 3rd and short. We talk about these 3rd and short woes. So 3rd and 2, he just puts a little move on Kendall Fuller. It goes over the top of Washington in that single high safety look, so no help over the top, and then they were done. They were toast at that point, and then later adjusting one shoulder, sees it in the air, Tua is throwing it to the outside shoulder, and he's able to make the adjustment with the ball in flight. Then just tremendous from a receiver, not just the speed, but then those are some ball skills that a lot of receivers, once they turn over the wrong shoulder, they'd be all disoriented when they try to go around to the other and try to find the ball. And just a great athletic play.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? But young and Julian Hill, this might have been the moment he woke up and came out of the womb and opened his eyes or broke through the shell as a young chick. You know, what it seems to me, because the young man looked so good in the offseason, the preseason, and training camp, and then the poor guy was just falling on his face like a young guy does, like Tanner Connor pretty much has done pretty much every time he's got an opportunity. And so today he looked good. He looked confident. He played well. And so in a week where we're all talking about Zach Ertz, and they so desperately need a playmaker at that position. Again, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but I just thought that was a real nice little positive here and something now to look at moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the glimpses that you saw in training camp. And, yeah, maybe not specifically in that he's going up for jump balls like we saw time and time again through training camp and these red zone touchdowns. But, hey, red zone play, he got them down within whatever it was, the 5 or so. Yeah, a couple of catches in this game, 23 yards. So, you look for these little sparks, whether it's in these games, if it's in meaningful moments, or if it's once you're already running away from them, and then even if it's in garbage time, like you had that Mike White to Robbie Chosen touchdown against the Broncos. These little things. You like seeing them from the backups just in case if they're ever put into the position where they have to contribute. And like we see in those meaningful times at various positions on the offensive line, with Duke Riley today going in for Baker, and then Andrew Van Ginkle and Manuel Agba. So it's really nice to see that you have depth in those options. And hey, Julian Hill, a tight end on the roster with Zach Ertz, maybe not inside. I don't know what's going on internally inside the Dolphins building, but that the fan base is Zach Ertz's name has picked up steam with them. And then, hey, you don't forget about me. You have a tight end right here that you picked up as a gem as an undrafted rookie.
By the way, in one of Julian Hill's catches, which Tua did it like 3 times today, where he had to avoid pressure and sidestep it and then reset again to make a play. And those are things that people always talk about. Oh, you take away his first read or whatever and all that kind of stuff. Today, he had a couple of those pressured moments where he extended the play and made it. One of them, I think he just overthrew somebody barely over the sidelines. It was actually a nice throw by Tua, and it had a chance. But the other two, one of them was Julian Hill, and I forgot the other one, but they were completions by him.
Yeah, and I was also just looking down now. Right, Tua was not sacked today, and then I was looking at the quarterback hits because I thought maybe he was hitting more than he was. No, I mean the stats only have the Commanders for 2 of those instances. So I remember those 2 instances, and then there were a lot of other scenarios where he avoided pressure or got the ball out just at the right time. So and also just big game for Tua in the sense that he did not turn the ball over. Because we know he's been going through that rut of turnovers. So Mike McDaniel said, and the team felt that he would have a big comeback game one of these games coming up. And this was one of them with those 2 big touchdown strikes while not turning the ball over. And you see what's possible. You end up beating a team that you should beat by 30 points when you do that.
Chan, my brother, back with a vengeance, man. Fantasy players everywhere already happy. The kid comes back and scores 2 touchdowns. Crazy.
Yeah. And I'm a guy who, in my leagues, I have 5 different leagues, and I wasn't able to get HN in any of them. But I have Mostert in a couple, so now HN is going to be eating into Mostert's production. But Mostert still did have a touchdown in this one, so I appreciate that. But it's nice when you have those 2, and then as you build the early lead with the 2 of the Tyreek connections, and then you get the pick 6 that then you can go to the run game, and then it's both of those guys punching in these touchdowns. So just really nice to see a complete team effort in all facets.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Mike McDaniel, the 2 consistent things, right? Death, taxes. McDaniel fails to win challenges, and Waddle drops.
Yeah. Another drop for Waddle in this one, and this one really inexcusable. Some of them it's like, okay, maybe a hit is coming, maybe it's a tough spot, but this one was just you're coming back, the ball's coming right at you, 20 yards downfield, and you have no one around you. That one was he's got to come up with that one. And then Mike McDaniel now a 2 of 10 on his career in challenges. So he was 1 of 6 last year. Started off 0 for 5, got that challenge in the finale against the Jets, which was big. And then I know he made some adjustments in the offseason. I'm not sure exactly how the process changed or who is in charge. That's kind of kept under wraps. But now, 1 of 4 this year now after that failed challenge.
And he's really not 1 of 4. He's really not. Because the one he won, it was his special teams coordinator. And had the 11th man running off the field. And the only reason they called the penalty is because they assumed that was the 12th man. But luckily, the incompetence of the coordinator saved the coach in his challenge. So really, I don't know if I'm going to give you that one.
That's true.
When, you know what I'm saying? So it just, whatever adjustments made, they sunk.
Yeah, still not.
Sunk.
Right. And And sometimes it's been at inopportune times where it's not a challenge. And I'm trying to remember. No, this one, yeah, it was a third down. Yeah, you want to get off the field. But sometimes it's been odd situations where, is it really worth it to throw the challenge flag in that case? I know even like Robert Saleh had one that he won last week against the Dolphins. It was early, and it was for a 5-yard gain or something. And then I thought, why, yeah, you're going to win it, but you never know what could happen when it goes to replay. I know he had one like that. Yeah, I'm just babbling at this point, but yeah, sometimes he could also improve in just the scenarios and in the risk reward of the challenge as well. I remember thinking that back last year too.
All I know is I could do that job 1,000 times better than anybody he has hired. That's what I know. Okay. I don't think
Bigo to be his the voice in his ear to send him the replay word. Yeah.
I don't understand how you haven't been able to find somebody competent, because it's pretty obvious his losses and his challenges are ridiculous at times, and I don't understand who he's listening to, what kind of system they have in place. It sucks. It really sucks. And so those are two things that I'm worried you're going to lose a challenge in a big moment, in a big game, and I'm worried Waddle's going to make a drop in a big moment, in a big game. Those are two little things that got to tweak today. Tua, no turnovers, no fumbles. Nice job.
Yeah.
Waddle, brother, you got to do better. And McDaniel, my God. Jesus, dude.
I think on those two fronts, the Mike McDaniel challenge system and Waddle's drops, I think our partners at Welton and Ray would advise them to plead guilty in these cases and see how they get off.
Jury is out on those guys. That's for sure when it comes to those situations. No doubt about that. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Feronis _. Are you David Feronis _ also on Threads?
No, David.Feronis. Yeah, I made my Threads. I haven't updated in a while, but it's linked to my Instagram. That's my same Instagram, David.Feronis.
I don't know. Some tells me we're headed somewhere else in the end.
Yeah,
this
could be.
Those advertisers, and he's going to make a complete subscription service. So it's like,
yeah, if Elon does that on Twitter, yeah. But hey, I like that they're paying content creators on X now. So that's a plus.
That would be good if you seeing any money from that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's able to buy a drink or two more every 2-week period. Well, Miami price drinks.
Oh boy! All right, David. We'll catch up on Thursday, my friend. I appreciate you.
Sounds good. Appreciate you.
There you go. The great David Feronis from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. When we talk about my friends at Welton and Ray, we love Jeff Welton, Daniel Ray, brother. One's a rocker. The other one is a stunt pilot. Yes. And they also kick some ass in the courtroom. They did it for us. They've been at this for over 20 years. AAA rating. I'm telling you, client after client. Their offices are in Hollywood. They've also got an office in the Keys. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Please call my friends at Welton Ray. Maybe you don't need it right now, but save the number 954-966-4646 because you just never know when you're going to need it. Busted pipe, maybe not your own, maybe the neighbors, but the water went into your condo, your townhouse, something like that. Call Welton Ray. Maybe something happened to you 6 months ago, a year ago. You don't know if you have a case. The consultation's free. It doesn't hurt to ask Jeff Welton, hey, Jeff, this and this and this happened. Do I have a case? And Jeff's going to take the time to listen, explain, and tell you if you have a case or not. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Feronis. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Streets. On Friday on the show, we told you that Bitcoin would hit 40,000. God,
And
Kyle Cockrell, can we get to 40K by the end of the year? Oh, God, 40K. We'll be at 40K Bitcoin you're talking about? We'll be at 40K by the end of next week. Mark it down. 40K by next Friday. Okay? 40K by next Friday. Ha! How about that? How about that? Thank you, Jonathan Jensen. Woo! I couldn't be happier, man. And I want to thank Bitcoin, too, because Bitcoin has taught me how terrible all these presidents we've had for years have destroyed our economy. Delving in and learning more about Bitcoin taught me more about our banking system and how everything worked out. The last 3 years, I did something I should have done years ago to educate myself. But my Lord, you guys choose sides and all that stuff. But I have learned how every single one of these administrations has helped bury our dollar and Bitcoin. Now, I've been telling you. There it goes. Yeah. And it's going January 10th, when these ETFs are approved, Bitcoin, I think it'll be over 100 grand by the end of the year of next year of 2024. 100 grand. And we're at 40. Anyway, what do we have here? Omar thinks Chan doesn't have vision and Gink doesn't have a nose for the ball. Yeah. At this point, if I'm Chris Greer, I'm walking up to McDaniel unannounced and taking the red flag from him before every game and walk away without saying a single word. I'm just picturing that scene. That's a funny ass scene, bro. Okay. I'm just picturing that scene. That's a funny scene. Okay. Oh man, Mostert is going to break the team rushing record. I know, but dude, Mark Smith, dude, we have to trade and sign Dalvin Cook or Jonathan Taylor. You know, I mean, the durable Jonathan Taylor. No, because Jonathan Taylor will put this team over the top. Because this team so desperately needed Jonathan Taylor. Most asinine stuff I heard from fans and media was all that shit about Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook. You know, unless the running back is Derrick Henry or Walter Payton or Barry Sanders, you know what I'm talking about. One of those freaks. One of those guys that the Lord only made, like he drops it in every once in a while. Here you go. Check that guy out. Gale Sayers. Check him out. There you go. Watch out there. You know, that's what he. Jim Brown. There, here. Enjoy Jim Brown for a little bit. He's going to the movies shortly. That's what happens. There's only a couple of those kind of that. You want to trade for that guy? You want to pay that guy? Okay, I get that one. You know, you want to pay for that freak? That freak. Jonathan Taylor ain't that freak. Dalvin Cook ain't that freak. They're good backs. They're not freaks. They're not freaks. So I'm not doing that. And this is the silliness that we were all involved in. And look at what Mostert's doing, a Chan, and Jeff Wilson. I love Chris Brooks. I love this front office, by the way, because they can find talent. I love Chris Brooks. They're loaded with backs. And we had fans and media members with their heads up there. You know what? Oh, you got to go make a move for Jonathan Taylor. You got to sign him to a big contract. No, you don't. No, you don't. Gale Sayers, all-time Bears great. Yes, he is. Mark Smith, for guys who haven't done it, go to Julian Hill's college tape. They ran the bubble screen and reverses for him. Nice to see him building some confidence. Now, Julian Hill can play. I think you guys saw it. You guys saw it in the preseason training camp. He's got some skills, man. I like it. Ooh, Marco Rocks, sad news. April Wine founder, lead singer, guitarist Miles Goodwin has passed. Wow. You know, I was going to go see Miles for his final concert. He did a final concert in Nova Scotia back in October, I want to say, or September or something like that. And I was going to fly over to Nova Scotia because I had not seen April Wine since the 80s. I only saw him once, and I love April Wine. And I had tickets to see April Wine in Las Vegas like 3 years ago when the pandemic hit. It was the same week. It was the week of the draft. Remember when the draft was going to be in Vegas and it was canceled because of the pandemic? I had a legendary week that set up. I was flying to, listen to this, I was flying to San Francisco the week before the draft, and we were going to see Pearl Jam for 2 days. We had tickets for both nights in Oakland, okay? And pandemic hit, but then we were going to go 2 nights in Oakland, then we were going to go on that Sunday, fly in to Vegas from Oakland, and then start the week. And then that week, I was going to see April Wine, and there was another band. I'm trying to remember. I know Pat Metheny was still doing something over at the Link. I was going to see him, but there was another band that I was going to see that week. So I had like 5 concerts that week. It was obviously the Super Bowl week, all that kind of stuff. And then, the draft, I'm sorry. And then everything went to shit, you know, and the Dolphins had all those picks and all that. It was going to be awesome. It was going to be legendary. And he ruined it. And I was going to see April Wine. So I was going to see April Wine then. And then I was going to go to Nova Scotia to see his last concert. And then the poor man now has passed away. Rest in peace, Miles Goodwin. I will jam a little Just Between You and Me. Baby, I know our love will be. So I'll jam a little Sign of the Gypsy Queen. I Want to Rock. A bunch of songs, man. April Wine was good, man. I like April Wine. Vinny Lenya, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. He says, do you think Tua is league MVP? We'll find out at the end of the year. It's interesting, right? Because when you play well, you're the league MVP or you're in the mix. And then when you have the bad game, you're out. So for 3 weeks, Tua hasn't been in the MVP conversation. For 9 weeks, he's been in the MVP conversation. Why don't we do this? Why don't we wait till when they give the award at the end of the year? So let's wait till they complete the season. And then that way we know exactly what the totality of the season is, what Tua did, what Mahomes or anyone else that is in the mix. Then we can have a full discussion of it. But Vinny, right now, having that discussion when seasons are incomplete and games still need to be played and big moments need to happen, yeah, we're not there yet, bro. We're not there yet. So let's wait. Okay. Yes, sir. Bitcoin 40K. Carlos Giannis, Big O next week, Bills versus Chiefs. That's a big game for us Dolphins fans. Bills need to help us. No, they don't, Carlos. No, they don't. Don't worry about it, bro. Dolphins will help themselves. That's all. I don't want to play that help game. I want Dolphins to take care of business, period. And if you got to go to KC, then take care of it in KC. Okay? Win out. KC will lose a game, and you'll have home field advantage. Win out, man. Take care of your own business. Hard Knocks will be dope this week. Hard Knocks will be dope every week because it's the Dolphins. And people are going to want to be a part of this. Nature of the Beast is a great album. It is, Raging. It is. It's a fantastic album. And for those of you that don't know, go listen to Sign of the Gypsy Queen from April Wine and Just Between You and Me. Those are 2 songs that will right away you'll go, oh, I like this band. This is pretty good stuff. So I hope we beat the Ravens again like last year and the year before. Remember, he came off the bench, started to play well, and Flo was like, hold on. Don't come back in the game right now. Okay, Jabroni. Okay, right there. I'm going to reluctantly stay with Tua because I got to win the game and I'm going to look like a horse's ass. I finally realized that by putting you back in the game. Tua, you go ahead. Fuck. So that's probably what happened. That was probably the situation. As much as Flo hated it, he had to count on Tua that moment. And Tua came back with a crappy coaching staff and crappy talent around him and beat the Ravens and came back. And then last year, they were down by 21, and he came back and beat the Ravens while Lamar Jackson was on the sidelines peeing on his pants because he can't pass the ball in key moments. So, yeah, that little rinky-dink offense of theirs, they're not burning X, Ramsey, and Holland. You can forget about that. Okay. I agree, Big O, but it makes me nervous when 80% of their runs is on the outside. Well, that's kind of what it's an outside zone offense, my brother. That's kind of what it's called. And that's what they do. It's pretty successful. It's the most successful run game we've had here on a consistent basis for a long time, not knowing Ricky Williams. Okay? I'm good with this. Both of the running backs last year averaged 4.5 yards a carry with a line that wasn't really complete. And now your backs, at one point, your young back was averaging like 11 yards a carry. And Mostert is one of the leading rushers in the NFL. I'm good. The humble giant in Connecticut says, and came back like the goat he is. That's right. That's what Tua is. Georgie Cole says, Big O speaks the truth. Been a Fins fan since day one, 66. Thank you, George. Let's see. Big O, Bad Side of the Moon is another great April Wine song. They've got a terrific catalog of songs. They're one of those underrated bands. They just are. I'm glad that they got some love in the 80s. I thought the MTV thing was really, really good. It exposed me to them also, by the way. It was actually pretty cool. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3 run yards and 3 touchdowns. Not a bad day for the running game. Yeah, man. We are super blessed as Dolphin fans, and you all should feel that right now. Do we have any of the press conferences, my friend? We have anything to play for the folks?
I got Tua.
What do we got?
Tua.
Okay, let's go. Let's listen to the stud you and I know as Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm just going to really make sure that they're covering either him or Jalen or any of our guys before I start moving on in my progression.
You must have seen that their safety at times didn't provide help on one-on-one.
Well, I think it is tough for their safety in that instance when you have guys like Tyreek, guys like Jalen who are on who have one-on-ones, and then you put a backer out there with Devon. I mean, I don't know what you would expect them to do. If you expect them to cover Tyreek's side, then we're going to throw to Devon. I mean, we liked our matchups, but it definitely is tough when you go man across the board and it's pressed against really fast guys like that.
So a couple of days ago, I guess on Friday, Mike talked about how he saw a team that was ready to kind of get over the demons of the December stretch last year. You guys lost 5 in a row. We talked about how the Monday and Thursday practice really convinced them that you guys were ready to kind of build into the stretch of the season. From your perspective, what did you see from the team this week in practice and preparation?
Yeah, I think everyone is locked in. I think everyone is starting to handle their job, not more seriously, but everyone's starting to do a little more. You see guys staying a little longer, watching film together. When meetings, there's no meetings after practices on third down days. You see a lot of position groups meeting and staying back a little longer. You're starting to see a lot of guys staying out on the field a little longer as well. So I think that's what Mike is saying is everyone knows that we can do something special this year, and no one on our team is trying to waste that opportunity.
So sticking with what did you see on this touchdown theme? It looked like on the second one to Tyreek, as pressure was coming, you kind of just put it up there, give him a chance at it. But from your perspective, how would you describe that play?
Yeah, on that play, specifically, the ball is designated to go at a certain spot. With what we tell our receivers, and on that play, the ball, Tyreek was to expect the ball on the inside edge of the numbers. Now I can bleed him in more, but I try to throw him away from the middle of the field safety. So if you go back, it landed on the inside edge of the numbers, but phenomenal job by what Tyreek did. I mean, that's tough to do. That is tough to do, especially going as fast as he's going. It's tough. It's remarkable.
And I know you said some of these things don't surprise you anymore, but when he makes a play like that, tracking the ball over his shoulder at full speed, that's just kind of what you become accustomed to.
Well, it's I wouldn't say with that. That's something that I've just been accustomed to. I still get surprised with the plays that our guys make. But at the same time, everyone has their standard in which they play to, and Tyreek expects to make those kind of plays, and for me, I expect to make a better throw. Everyone has great accountability on our team.
How do you rate the roller coaster TD celebration?
Oh, that was 10 out of 10. I loved it. I love the roller coaster celebration. I think with one of the other cooler things too was as we were warming up and as we came out, on our sideline, it was just a lot of Dolphins fans, and I can't remember an away game where we've had that much support, that much love from our fans, and I mean, none of that goes unnoticed, and we really appreciate that as players.
You mentioned wanting to avoid turnovers. What went into you being able to do that, and what can you make it and replicate that moving forward?
Really, I just went out there and played the way I normally play, with having in the back of my mind certain throws. Should you throw it? Should you not throw it? I had to make quick decisions on those, but for the most part, I don't think you can go out there and be timid and expect to push the ball downfield and expect to score points that way. So I just went out there and literally took what the defense gave me.
How fun is this offense for you?
This offense is fun. I think any offense is fun when you're scoring a lot of points. It helps to go out there when you're scoring points. Guys get in the rhythm. Guys get in the flow of the game. And, you get the crowd going, and everyone just enjoys, the success that we all have because of it. Thanks, guys.
No flow. No, we don't want any flow in here. Get in a groove. We're in a groove. No flow. We don't want any flows in here. Okay? No flows, no hose. We don't want it all here. Okay? Out the door with the flows and the hose. Okay? All right? Stella found her groove. She didn't find her flow. So we need somebody's got to have a conversation with Tua there. We know deep down inside how he feels about flow. So we don't want any kind of flow in here. No flow. Flow got to go. Just saying. Okay? No flow. You can get in anything you want. Rhythm, groove. I don't give a shit. Can't get in a flow. Can't happen. Okay? No. You can get on a pace. Can't be on a flow. No. No. Let's eliminate the flow. Okay? It's slow and low. That is that they don't say Beastie Boys didn't go slow and flow. That is the tempo. No. Even the Beastie Boys knew it was slow and low. Just saying. Okay. Let's see. I like the roller coaster celebration. The roller coaster celebration was fantastic. The seatbelt thing was just great. They sat down and they went like that, and then when he put it down, I was like, "Oh my God, that's the seatbelt. That is so good. That was fantastic. That was good. That was really, 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 really fun. And again, enjoy yourselves. Please enjoy yourselves. You got a great quarterback. You got a fun head coach. He can't win challenges, but he's a fun head coach. You know, you got the best wide receiver in the NFL right now, the hottest wide receiver. You got one of the best duos of wide receivers in the NFL. You got a defense now that is just getting better and better and better, which is just absolutely awesome. And the moments that you're searching for are coming. You can tell that this team, and I love what Tua was talking about, how guys are staying a little extra now and working a little extra and watching a little extra film, because now you're getting into the part of the season where everything now, you know, the pressure starts to build up. The reality of you getting closer and closer to your goal, that's where it gets amped up a little bit. And now you're seeing guys do those things, the extra little things, and try to correct any of the issues that you have. Hey, look at Tua today. Stayed away from the turnovers. Hopefully he can get in a rhythm, and stay away from those turnovers. Okay. Big O is missing out. What am I missing out on, Jules? 8 games to play and only 2 left on the road, all wins. He's talking all the way through the Super Bowl, by the way. That's what Rajan is talking about. Oh, speaking of Ho, do you think he's learned anything from all his flaws in Miami when he tries to get a head coaching gig this offseason? I have no idea. I don't know. Don't know. We'll find out. Flow sucks so bad, just sucked the life out of this team. Another Bellichick bloodline failure. You liked the challenge today? I knew it was gonna lose right from the get-go. I didn't like it. Like I said, I've watched it so far for 2 years. I can do a much better job than anybody that Mike McDaniel has there. Guaranteed. Okay? If they want to pay me, I'll do it. Happily, I'll do it. I'll do anything to help the Dolphins win. So bring me on. But you got to pay me. I ain't taking no bullshit. So you got to pay me, because I don't do shit for free. Do the Dolphins rest starters against the Jets? Well, I would have rested Armstead today. Today was the day to give Keon Smith more playing time, because you've already developed Kendall Lamb. Now you can develop Keon Smith, and you can say, well, we feel pretty good going into the draft. We got some extra tackles. Now let's see if we can, work on the interior, draft alignment, because I expect the Dolphins to be like the Eagles. Every year you're drafting a lineman. Every year, dude. Somewhere in the draft, you're drafting a lineman, maybe even a D lineman too. Every stinking year. You got to win at the line of scrimmage. And you need to have as many of those guys as possible rolling in. So, yeah. And they've done a really nice job this year with their offensive linemen. Okay. How nice is that, hearing that guys are staying in meeting rooms late? By the way, never heard anyone say, I'm thankful to be here with more Ernest, than Mike White this week. Yeah, Mike White, he's a good dude. You can tell he's a good dude. You know? And he's a Miami guy. So, of course, he wants to be here. And did you see his stats today? 1 of 1 for 3 yards. Right? If I'm correct, that was a stat, right? I mean, you talk about a QBR right there. 1 of 1, 3 yards. The man was perfect today. Tua was 18 of 24, 280 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pressure always builds when the flow isn't released. Oh, man, you guys are too much. McDaniel says it's not long-term injury for George Cole. Or you talk about Jerome Baker. That's a hell of a what's it called, a spell check thing. Oh. I just hope he's all right. All right, folks. I think any super chats that I leave out there, Sean, I think we're good, right? Right? I think we're good. Yes? Okay. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. If you're listening to the show at any time after, you can always send a donation. We always appreciate it, and we love the Bitcoin donations. Let me just check to make sure, because before we leave, I hate when I get off the air and then one was already there. You know, some come in after, so I always appreciate those, and I answer those directly, but just in case. So Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, and of course, we always love our Bitcoin donations, man. Always appreciate that. We appreciate David Furonis. We appreciate Safadine. We appreciate, of course, the one and only Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform every single day. And most of all, we appreciate all of you out there all over the world supporting us and tuning in. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. And remember, if your company wants to be a part of our platform, you want to support a segment, maybe you want us broadcasting from your place, call our business line, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. That, not a request line, not a talk line or anything. That's pure business. If you want to be a sponsor of our program, please give us a ring. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, baby. Well, not too early, 10 a.m. We like it that way. Y'all be good out there. 10 a.m., same time, same place, same to a channel. Yeah.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings. Get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com. 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.